Alright, guys, welcome back. Yeah, we're not doing any intro music or anything on this one. Um, I got some bad news. I just want to get this out of the way before we even get started. Um, I want to I want this episode to be dedicated to Ben Quady of Bad Motivator Barrels. Um, if you listen to my last podcast with Jesse, he's been integral in helping Jesse get um, his spirits aging better. He does smaller barrels for craft people, stuff like that. He's been a pillar in the community for a long time. He passed away in a paragliding accident, and it is devastating to the community. And I just wanted to give him a shout out on here, and then my condolences to his family and friends and all the people affected by this. Um, I know too. A lot of you probably don't even know who he is, and that's fine. Um, but this is how the community of people grow, and so go check out Jesse from Still It did a video where he actually went to Ben's shop and made some barrels and stuff, and it was super cool and fun. I had actually contacted him about being on the podcast and stuff before all of this happened, so that, I mean, not to say anything, but that sucks because he is a wealth of knowledge in barrel making and stuff like that, and I thought it would be really cool to get him on here and talk about wood. But that's not going to happen anytime. Um, so, anyway, I wanted to say that, and this is dedicated to you, Ben, wherever you are. And yeah, all right, let's get into it. Enough of that. So yeah, if you didn't watch the Jesse episode, what are you doing with your life? Seriously, it was a banger, just like the Moose one. What are y'all doing? Come on, let's watch those. They're on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, if you want to see an ugly bearded guy talking to another bearded guy. I'm not going to say Jesse's ugly, so, whatever. It's on there. Um, but yeah, it was really fun. Glad we got to talk. The time difference kind of threw me off. Um, but yeah. So, and then right after that, I started feeling bad, of course, like always. And then over the weekend, felt like crap. And yeah, it was hard. It was hard. So, but before, see, see what I'm saying? I'm actually home today from work. I should be working right now, and my wife said, "You are not going to work because I don't need you dying." Because this weekend we're supposed to go to the coast for my daughter's birthday, and she goes, "I can't have you sick the whole time we're there." And I'm like, "Got it." So I am home healing. I have nothing else to do. So I'm like, well, let me get this podcast going so I don't have to worry about it over the weekend or something like that while we're out of town. So that, that's that. So Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? Wednesday of last week. Anyway, you're not going to see it till next week, so it doesn't matter. I actually got a chance to go on the Last Americans podcast. We're going to get into the topic. It's a good one, I promise. Does whiskey make you smarter? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not phoning it in at all. Stop. I'm not. Um, so, and I'm sorry if you can hear my AC in the background. I'm in the shed. It's like not super hot yet, but it's still probably 80 degrees in here, and I'm not turning the AC off. Sorry. So, if this one sucks, I'm sorry. Um, I will try to do it in the house next time, but it's just too damn hot to be not having the AC on and recording. Um, so I got the chance to go on the Last Americans podcast again. Well, not again. Formerly, Pardon My American, which I was on and did a whiskey tasting for them. Great guys. Love them to death. Well, this time, so they're fixing to move their set. Um, to, I think they're moving to right outside of Houston, Conroe area, and that's a little far for me to drive. So they were like, just come on and hang out with us. So I didn't bring any whiskey. Brought a couple samples for him, but other than that, I didn't bring any whiskey for us to drink first thing in the morning. Greg wasn't there. There's normally 3 guys on the show. He lives in Washington, so he wasn't there. But we did a Zoom with him. I was able to do 2. They have another YouTube channel called Pardon My Reaction, where they react to like music videos and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. If you haven't found, if you're into stuff like that, go check it out. It's pretty fun. We did this one. I can't even tell you what the band's name was, but it was a banger. It was really good. It was heavy metal, but it was really good. And then we did one that was the new Cannibal Corpse song that came out, and it ripped my face off. Completely ripped it off. It was gone. It was fun. It was fun to be a part of that. And then we did the show, and they were asking questions. Okay, so Last American Podcast is they're more current events, right? They talk about the world and what's going on right now and stuff like that. Political leaning, I would say, but they want to talk about other things. Cool. If any of you know me out there, you know I don't care about politics at all. They are a necessary evil in the world, mainly more evil. But anyway, so I don't really have a point of view when it comes to stuff like that, and people get kind of perturbed by my reaction to that, because I'm like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, I do. Sorry, you guys are just gonna have to deal with that dumb cough. I do care about this world and, the United States and stuff like that, but the political reign, I don't get involved in it, because it how do I say this without going too deep? This is a whiskey channel, and I wanted to keep it whiskey, so that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to say I don't care, but you know what I mean. So I was asking them questions about things, and getting their take on it, and it went a little further. Wow. Went a little further than I wanted it to. Well, not that I wanted it to, but went a little bit further than I thought. It went a little more in depth into policy and stuff like that. So it was a totally different show than I was on before, because on the show I was on before, we were talking about the whiskey, which was fine. And I don't mind being in a place that we're not talking about whiskey, but when we're talking about other things that I don't know 100% about, I don't like to speak on it, because if I don't know at least a solid amount of it, I don't like speaking on it, because I don't want people to say, well, you're wrong, or this or that, so I have opinion, and I think I stated that a couple of times on the show, like, this is what I think, but I don't know, and I haven't done the research, and they have, so, like, I don't want to put my 2 cents in. So yeah, I mean, there's that. So it went very well, and I feel like I held my own pretty good. But yeah, sorry, my wife is texting me as I'm doing the podcast, of course. Yeah, it was good. It was good, and so hopefully we'll be able to chime back up again, and maybe I can go next time I go to Houston area or whatever, go over there and do another tasting for them or something like that. And then after that, I was like, I blew the day away, at the podcast. So I was like, well, the only other thing to do when you're on this side of town is go to Andalusia Whiskey. So that's what I did. We're gonna get into the topic. Quit. Anyway, um, I went to Andalusia because I needed to pick up a bottle that they had set aside for me because I wasn't able to make it for the launch of whatever. So I go over there and I no longer get out of the um I no longer get out of the truck. Then I see Moose in the little courtyard area and he's waving me down. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go over there and he's fixing to start a tour of their facility, which if you've ever been to Andalusia Whiskey, it's a pretty small place, so the tour doesn't take that long. So he's like, hey, you know just as much about this place as I do. He goes, come over here and help me out with this tour. All right, whatever. So I help him out, and it turns out to be probably the longest tour in Andalusia's history, because we are talking about everything from Kentucky Bourbon Trail to punk music to all sorts of stuff. And the group that we had with us, it was two people, super cool people. Three Branches Bourbon, shout out. Because he was in all three branches of the military. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, not weird, but like different. You know, couldn't pick, I guess. Anyway, I didn't grill him on it because it's none of my business. But he was super cool. His wife, girlfriend, whatever, she was super cool as well. Then we went and did the little tour and talked and stuff like that. And then we went into the bottling room, and we got met with Jake Clements. Anyway, from the Texas Whiskey Festival and Association and Trail. He was at Andalusia, just happened to be there, and he met us in the tasting room, and he opened up a bottle of the triple distill finished in mezcal barrels. Now, as I might have said before, I'm not really big on mezcal. You would think I would be because I like smoky scotch, but I'm not really big on it. So I was like, I don't know about that. It was really good. So good that I actually picked up a bottle of it. So that'll tell you that much. It's really light and almost effervescent, like refreshing. So it was really nice. But so I was able to, we hung out and heard some stories from Jake and all that stuff. And it was really fun. Then what else happened? Oh, then I went and picked up my bottles. The bottle I went to go pick up was their Bottled and Bond Agricole rum bottle, which I know, I'm a whiskey guy, but this rum is the first in Texas Bottled and Bond rum ever. So it's kind of a milestone. And Moose is doing some crazy stuff with rum because that's the whole reason he got into distilling and stuff like that. And you guys know about that if you've listened to the podcast. So that was super cool. That was really, really fun to hang out with him and those guys over there. They're doing awesome stuff. I can't fanboy enough over them. So yeah, then got to do the podcast with Jesse from Still It, and that was really cool. On the Thursday we did that, and that was super cool. Hanging out with him, it's never a dull moment when you hang out with him. So yeah, that's kind of catches you up, and then I, started feeling bad, and here we are. Now I'm be like Barry White, baby. So anyway. So, the topic we're going to get into today. See, it's only 14 minutes. Calm down. You guys act like I ramble on for hours. Can whiskey make you smarter? Some people say yes. Let's just look and see what the research says. Now, some of these don't say whiskey. You know what I mean? They say alcohol. So we're going to just say that they mean whiskey, right? So here's the Daily Sun. Take that for what it is, right? Let me click on it. I'm trying to use more resources here, so I hope this means means something. And of course, the website's not going to come up right, and it's stupid, and you know. Okay. All right. So, according to this is from the Daily Sun. According to the latest research, alcohol can make you smarter. The Irish Independent reports that men who drink 2 pints of beer before they tackle a brain teaser will perform better and achieve higher success ratings than sober men who have the same puzzle. According to the report, after 2 drinks, your intellect, no, your intellectual skills are sharpened. Sorry, I can't read, obviously. The research also found that drinkers tend to get more questions right and were quicker than when it came to shouting out the right answer. Now, all of this needs to be taken with a grain of salt, of course, because 2 beers, 4 beers is going to be different. 6 beers is going to be way different, you know. So, here's what it says. The trick is knowing when you've had enough. A small bit of alcohol is enough to up your brain power and keep you aware of what's going on in life. A lot of alcohol is likely to see you devolve into a smart, sophisticated male or into a Neanderthal in the space of 10 minutes. That's actually pretty funny. Psychologists at the University of Illinois rounded up 40 young men, or young students, and gave them a series of brain teasers to work on them. Half of the group drank 2 pints of beer before sitting down to do the puzzle, and the other half remained sober. Researchers were shocked when the group that had been given alcohol managed to solve nearly 40% more of the problems than the sober counterparts. Those who had consumed some alcohol and only spent an average of 12 seconds on each brain teaser, as compared to 15.5 seconds to the sober subjects that needed to work on that solution. The report concluded that being too focused can blind you to novel possibilities, and broader, more flexible state of attention is needed for creative solutions to emerge. So that's pretty cool. I thought, I thought that was kind of funny. So here's the whole thing. Here's the whole thing. I'm trying to set this down without smacking the microphone. Here's the whole thing. Whiskey is a lubricant, right? For your mind and for your body. Beer, alcohol, it doesn't matter. It's alcohol. It's all the same, but it's very different. So, and we've talked on this podcast ad nauseum about overindulgence and taking it too far and stuff like that. We're not talking about that. We're talking, and there's people that say there's a lot of health benefits to drinking a glass of wine every day, for your heart health. And there's another one in here that says having a glass, a glass meaning an ounce and a half or 2 ounces of whiskey per day can actually lower your LDLs and your cholesterol. Take that for what it is. This is not medical advice. I am not a medical professional. I'm not condoning drinking every day even. But I will say that everybody, well, not everybody, because I can't speak for everybody, right? But there are a lot of people that when they get in a stressful or sometimes cantankerous situation, what is the first thing they do? They want to have a drink, right? And most people say that, man, I need a drink. Either after the fact or before the fact, So it knocks the edge off, right? And it also gives you a little bit more clarity. Now, so there's a fine line in that, though, being the edge. That line can be blurred very fast. You know what I mean? Like, you can go from, I've had one drink, I'm loosened up a little bit, I'm ready to tackle whatever challenge that is, and I've had 4 drinks and I'm pissed. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference. So, am I peeking on y'all? I'm sorry if I'm peeking. With my voice kind of raspy, I'm having to adjust the microphone a lot. Anyway, um, so yeah, I found it really interesting that when you have a drink, your mind is actually opened a little more, and you're able to, like, the saying, "Get out of your own way." I feel like alcohol lets you get out of your own way in small doses, of course. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about going on a bender because we all know what happens when you've had too much and you're like, "Oh, Lord." You go the other way. You know what I mean? Like they were saying in Neanderthal. You go into ooga ooga, like, or throwing up or something. I mean, that's just not cool. That's just not cool. Um, we all have to use a sense of kind of, how do you say it? Um, we have to have a sense of clarity in it, knowing that, okay, we all know that alcohol is a poison, right? But it's also a poison that our body likes, which is weird, right? Our body likes it. It does something to our body to where it sets off these endorphins. It's all scientific. I'm not a scientist, obviously. I'm barely a, whatever. Um, so it's really kind of funny um, to think that, like, having a drink, having a whiskey, can actually make you smarter. You know what I mean? It lubricates you up a little bit, lets you get into your brain. You have all the knowledge already there. You're not like prophetic saying things, You have all the knowledge already there. You're just able to access it a little bit easier, I guess. So that to me was really pretty cool. Um, so this can also stem into, not only can it make you smarter, but like I said, can it actually help your health? Which we know that overindulgence in alcohol can lead to liver problems, can lead to dependency problems, can lead to social problems, personal problems, all of these spiritual, mental, physical, all of these problems. And I'm planning on having um, a psychologist, psychiatrist. I don't know what he is. What are you? He's an MD, but he can't prescribe. Anyway, I'm trying to get him on whenever he quits going to Colorado fishing, right, whitewater rafting and stuff. Have him on and to talk about the negative effects of alcohol on your psyche, and on your mind. Overindulgence. We're talking about overindulgence here. So I'm kind of excited about that because as much as I love whiskey, I love it to death. Like that's kind of harsh to say. I don't want to say it like that. But I love the whole point of whiskey, right? It is a poison and it can poison your mind and your body and all of that stuff. So we have to be aware of that. Um, but there is some other things that say alcohol can actually be good for your body. It can help with stress. It can help with your LDLs. It can help with your mood in small doses. So I think it all stems back to knowing when to stop. Knowing when to say, okay, that was fun. I had one drink. I'm good. Instead of saying, I've had one drink, I'll have another. Oh, wait, that one was good too. I'll have another. I mean, because we've all been there. All of us have been there to where we're like having fun, we're hanging out with people or whatever, and then next thing you know, you've had a couple drinks too many, and you're like, I need to stop right now. And that's your mind's way of telling you, hey, calm down. You're fixing to go into territory you don't want to. Next thing you know, you're puking in the bathroom for 6 hours. You don't want to do that. So, I say all that to say this. Can whiskey make you smarter? Survey says yes. But no. Whiskey's a, a known depressant, right? It depresses things. It is a sedative, right? Now, when I say depressant, I don't mean like it makes you depressed, even though it can. There's people, they say, that's the whole the whole country music bar room crap that they talk about. There's a tear in my beer, type thing. And then there's a saying that people say, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. I know, I threw a dad joke in there, I'm sorry. But it's true in some aspects, right? I don't want a frontal lobotomy, but I don't also want a bottle in front of me. So it's those fine lines that we have to tread. Can whiskey make you smarter? Absolutely. I feel like it can open up your mind to get out of your own way in some instances, and in other instances it can, how do you put it, it can hurt you, and it can, like I said, it's a poison, so therefore overindulgence, prolonged use of overindulgence can do massive effects to your body. Now, some people can burn off alcohol like nobody's business, right? And there's some people that can have one drink and they have inflammation for days after from one drink. So it just depends upon your body type, the person you are, how you metabolize it. There's all these things you can buy now, like the liquid IV, what is it? Oh man, the bio stuff that you drink, like a pre-game, pre-workout or pre-drinking drink that you have, and it's supposed to help you metabolize alcohol better. The whole thing is just take it for what it is and realize that this is a chemical that is made to alter your body. And having too much, even in a social situation, you're going to be able to take it too far too easy, especially if you're having cocktails. Because they're masked with sugar and other parts in it, and next thing you know, you've had 8 ounces of whiskey. You know what I mean? In a 30-minute sitting. Yeah, it's gonna screw up anybody. You know what I mean? And knock down a freaking horse. But so whiskey has some positive attributes, but we also have to look at the negative ones. Obviously, we can't just go from oh, it's good for me so I can have more. No, that's not the case. That's not what it's saying. And in all these studies that I looked at, they're all with mild usage, with 1 beer, 1 glass of wine, maybe 2 beers. Back in the day, before they found out about distillation, which we've known about for thousands of years, right? Before we knew about that, some of the tribes people would take fruit that had gone bad, fermented, pruno, be it, and eat it. And, so it's in our lineage to, make alcohol without knowing it, maybe, but, so, like, we're constantly trying to take the edge off, and if it's not with that, it's with, other people, take drugs or whatever to try and take the edge off, which I look at it like this. If you have to be dependent, and I say dependent, on something to take the edge off, then you need to take the edge off of your life, period, right? And not be dependent on a substance to do that for you. There's something wrong in your personal life that you need to change, either mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is. And, like, again, I am not a psychiatrist, a medical doctor. I am not anything. I'm just a dude in his shed talking on a microphone. So take that for what it is. But like, there are people out there that take this way too far, and they're hurting themselves and their families, all because it started as, well, I'm doing it for my health benefits. You know, that's that's not the thing. So please be aware. You know, and I don't know if it's just my heightened sense of life right now since hearing about Ben's passing. Um, you know, I don't know if it's my heightened sense of like clarity in life, and like, you know, life is too short, and and all those things. Um, but at the same time, like, don't let whiskey get in the way of life. Whiskey is a part of life, but don't let it get in the way of life. You know what I mean? And I know I've stressed this more often than not, because I don't want people to take this for granted at all. Okay? If you have a problem, and if you think you have a problem, you need to seek help. Seriously. As a friend, I am telling you, if you have any sort of hankering, any issues that you feel that are coming up when drinking, or because you're not drinking, you need to seek professional help. And I'm not saying talk to your buddy about it. I'm saying talk to a licensed physician and psychologist to get help. Because this is the type of stuff that can ruin you and your family. Okay, rant over. I'm sorry, guys. You're getting low T. You know what I mean? I'm low today. I'm low. But I'm trying to bring it up for you guys. I really am. I've got some really cool guests coming up in the future. I might cut this one a little bit short. I have some really cool guests coming up. I'm not going to tell you who. No. But at the same time, I've got some cool projects that we're working on. What else? I'm trying to get this whole computer thing down to where when I start posting stuff on YouTube, I can link all the website and all the everything. That way you guys can get it all in one spot. It's hard because I'm not an IT guy. I don't know anything about this stuff. I'm just trying to wing it. Winging a prayer. That's what we're doing. Winging a prayer on this. I really think that in the near future, it's gonna be a lot easier to get better content, because I already have the experience from doing this, and like I said, I've been on a couple other people's podcasts, and I've got to see their, I hate to say behind the curtain type stuff, but I got to see their behind the curtain type stuff, and to know that, like, even though some of these people have been doing it for 5-6 years, we're all still in the same boat. That makes me feel good. Like knowing that they're in the same boat as I am. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And please leave some reviews on Apple or wherever. 5-star, of course. Don't leave anything other than 5-star. Because if you leave other than 5-star, the dreaded algorithm looks at it like, this is not good. We don't need to promote this guy. And not that I'm trying to get promoted. I'm not. I could care less. It would be nice if the fan base broadened, and I was able to talk to more people, and then have more feedback, and that builds the community, and all that stuff, so that I can give you guys a better product. Because as of right now, I have a couple of people, giving me good feedback, but I need more of you to give me feedback on what you guys want to see, what you want to hear, um, the guests you would like to have, stuff like that. Um, I'm not trying to do Joe Rogan numbers here, not at all. Um, do y'all want to get off topic, um, and talk about other things? I don't want to do it every time, because this is a whiskey podcast. That's what it is. It's about whiskey and whiskey related things. But I have no problem talking about, like I was talking to Jesse about absinthe, right? I'm very interested in that. If that's something y'all are interested in, maybe not drinking it, maybe not, any of those things, but like if you're interested in how it's made, or the process or the history or something like that, you gotta let me know, because I don't just want to talk about the same thing over and over again, which I feel like we're not. I feel like we're talking about other things, and making it as relevant as possible, but at the same time, I do want to keep it up to date. And if y'all have questions, or want to learn about other things that I can help with, I can't help your dating life or your married life, or, well, I might be able to help your married life. I'll give you a good tip right now. What Mama says goes. Period. Sorry. You could try and you can try and say, "Oh no, it's my house. I'm the man of the castle." Yeah, but yeah, she got the key to the bedroom, if you know what I mean. So you better play your cards right. Anyway, all right. I really appreciate you guys for listening in, and I'm sorry that this was a little lackluster. It's been a crazy week. Um, it's been good. It's been bad. We've had some bad. We've had some good. Um, Hopefully next week I will feel a lot better. Have some what do they call it? Beach therapy. We're going down to the beach and hang out in the water. Maybe do a little fishing. I don't fish a lot, but my son, he's 10. My son wants to go fishing off the pier, and I was like, you know what? That sounds like fun. It's gonna be hot. It's hot everywhere, but um, it's gonna be hot. But he wants to go fishing, so I thought, that'd be kind of cool. And of course, it's my daughter's birthday, so we have to do what she wants to do, which is she loves going in the ocean. And I'm like, oh man, you realize there's sharks, right? There's sharks in the ocean, right? That's where they live. And I've seen way too many shark movies. Sharknado. That was the scariest one out of all of them. I'm joking. That was the stupidest movie. Anyway, I like whenever I go someplace, like we don't go very many places, but whenever I go someplace, I have a mustache hair like in my nose. It's like bugging the crap out of me. Anyway, whenever we go someplace, I like to pick up a bottle at the local liquor store. I don't know. It's like a thing of mine now. When we went to, where did we go recently? Crap. Where did we go? Oh, when we went to Cabo for our wedding anniversary, I picked up a bottle at Customs. Yeah, that's not really the same, but it's kind of the same. Um, and every time we go to the coast, I try to pick up a bottle, just because. I will bring a second bottle, like a backup, just in case there's nothing good. Which normally there's something good. Um, Last time I was there, I got, what was it? E.H. Taylor. So yeah, that was a find for like $30. I was like, yes, please. Um, and then the time before, I got, what was it? A Four Roses single barrel, which was really nice too. So anyway, yeah. So hopefully by the time I get back, um, I'll be in better spirits, and we can go from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know that's a little off kilter, but sometimes they can't all be 10s. Sometimes they have to be 8s. This is real. This is not, you know, over here dying for you guys. Anyway, they can't all be 10s. Sometimes they're 8s or 5s, or maybe this one was a 2. I don't know. But all that being said, yeah, make sure you follow, like, subscribe on all the things like you're doing, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. And until then, keep your spirits up.